So, good evening. Welcome to the March 4th meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners for the Katuitt Fire District, and Commissioner Robinson presiding. Along with me is Commissioner Horsley and Commissioner Turbuck, as well as Chris Wiseman, Superintendent, and Jen Nash, our faithful office manager. Um, Molly, I don't think I know you. Are you representing anybody, or are you
I
going to give?
am. I'm here with the Historical Society. I'm
Okay.
president of,
All
yeah.
right. We're going to be taking you up a little later.
Okay,
We'll get to that in the agenda.
good.
Um, and I don't have the agenda handy to look at, Jen, so you'll have to prompt us.
Yep, I'm going to share the screen, and we actually have Molly under public comments so that we can take her um, request for relief
Okay.
early on in the meeting. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll deal with the leak requests first. And before we start that, though, is there any additional public comment? We'll take public comment later as well, but any general public comments at this point? Seeing none, I ask Molly, would you like to present your case about the Historical Society bill?
I would. I sent a letter and we are just concerned that we had invoices of more than $2,000 for two different billing times. And we just feel that that's not at all in keeping with what our normal water consumption is. And we did have a new meter installed, which we're happy that you did that. And we're hoping that that will change things. We're kind of I guess we're blaming the old meter for possible poor readings that would put our usage so high.
Okay. Um, so we do have this in our packet. I'm looking at things ranging from 131,000 to 180 or 190 as being more typical.
It is more typical.
Yeah. So do we know anything about leaks in the system?
Well, on our end, we did do what we could on the surface, but we did have a new septic put in and they cleared everything up. There were no leaks or anything that we could see. Our grounds board member feels that if there were a leak of that capacity, there would be such huge water and we would see it. It would be on, there would be puddles and things. So I'm not ruling that out. I don't know, but I guess we're just feeling that something's crazy with the meter.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'd ask Chris and Jen to comment on this, what they know.
Chris, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Um, if I'm familiar with this, I went over last time this bill was high, and when I went over there to check the meter, it was soaking wet. The pipe was soaking wet. It was dripping from sweat because the sprinkler system had just run, and it had to have run for quite a while for it to be that hot, that wet, I would say, and to have it beating off like it was. They had just put in a new lawn and they were watering it a couple times a day, I believe, is what I was told. I don't know if anything got nicked or if everything was brand new over there when they put the new service out back to the house, to the shop. But we've gone there since then and there was no leaking going on. We feel as though this is actually the sprinkler system just pouring the water out there. I don't believe it is that there is a leak anywhere. And I will tell you that we changed the water meter just so that we could monitor it closely to see when it was running and when it wasn't. With this new smart meter that we have, we didn't take it out because it was broken in any way. It just had a little bit of usage on it. If it was broken, I've said this many times, it doesn't speed up. It just either doesn't work or it slows down. So we can kind of go from there.
So,
Okay.
so Molly, can you describe your irrigation system? How long have you had it? And what is it? Is it automated? How does it work? You're on mute. Well, you're on mute.
Molly, you're still on mute.
Okay. Sorry. It is automated, and we did have a new, well, we had the lawn seeded, and we did have the irrigation updated. And I will say that, yes, we were running that. We wanted that lawn in by our July event. We just, I mean, then so July through December, to have a bill that high also, when the irrigation was turned off in October. I don't know. I guess we're just perplexed by this whole thing, but if, I think the new meter will tell us something.
It definitely will. It'll tell us how much is being used and exactly at what point.
And we're gonna keep a daily log, which was recommended, which is a great idea, a usage log, and we're gonna do our best to record all of this. And if we find that things are, that possibly it is the meter that's different, we'd like to address this again, or I don't know, how does this work? It's pretty much either it's a go or a no.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, do you know who the sprinkler company is? The irrigation company
I
that
do. It's
maintains that?
yeah, it's Alex Barros, Barros. He's pretty much, he
Okay.
did some of our maintenance on, he's our handyman for everything.
Okay. It doesn't. I don't know if you had it checked for leaks at all. See if there was anything, what size heads are on there, how long they're running. Um, that would be something to talk to him about
Okay.
and ask him what it's set up for now. Because if there's certain heads there and how many times a day it's coming on, if you changed it down to once, the different things like that would be the way to go right now.
Yeah. Well, we won't be turning it on at all if this is what our bill's gonna be. So,
Because
okay,
we've gone in there and read it now, and there isn't an active leak going on at all.
yeah, okay.
So I'd like to recognize Commissioner Horsley. I almost can predict what he's going to say.
Well, actually, just a few questions. I honestly did not have time to read the letters, so I apologize in advance for maybe some of this information is there, but I guess I'll pose a couple, three questions all at once, and you can try to answer. So one, I assume this is for the property down towards Oregon Beach on the left. Is that
Yeah, not quite that far, 1148 Main Street.
okay? I'm
The
just wondering
museum.
how large is the lawn approximately? When was it sounds like an irrigation system was recently put in. Was there one there before that? And my last question is, and maybe this is more for you, Jen, how might that date correlate with what we're looking at here for usage? Am I correct? And it looks like the most recent one, 26, is 202,400. And prior to that, it was, I mean, it
Scott,
doesn't
I
look
made
like,
the same mistake, Scott. Those are the readings. The usage is over on the far right.
okay. So did the usage, where did the usage go crazy? I mean, back in 2020, it was 92,000, and now it's 150,000, which is somewhat higher, but not crazy, not leak crazy. So am I correct in assuming it looks like there's always been a fair amount of water usage here? So those are
I,
my multiple questions. Sorry.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
I'm having trouble here. My volumes won't turn up on my computer right now. So, were you addressing me there? I apologize.
whoever can answer it. I'm just wondering how, I kind of have an idea of the property. It's not a very large lawn, right?
No, no,
And did you how recent, so this is a new irrigation system?
it is.
There was
It
not an
is.
irrigation system there before?
There was an irrigation system there before, and I guess that's part of
Yeah.
the puzzle here. But
Well, we've determined, Molly, or irrigation systems seem to be a problem in multiple ways. One is they can leak, and we've tried to not encourage or allow them to be connected because this seems to be not an uncommon issue.
okay.
But and encouraging people to put their own private wells in instead. But obviously, it's too late for that. You've already spent the money. But I'm just wondering if there's a correlation here between usage and when the irrigation system went in.
And that's what we're determining also and
Yeah.
wondering going forward, looking at with the new meter, or I guess I'm wrong in assuming that the meter is the issue. I guess moving forward, we thought we would, if we were able to get different readings, then that would prove.
Jen, can you give me an idea how these numbers compare to a typical single-family household? These are in gallons over what period of time? I'm trying to convert this to like gallons per day.
Right. So these are gallons in a 6-month period. And the numbers highlighted in yellow here are
Yep.
all the
Yep.
summer seasons back to 2019. So you can even see for the summer of 2020, the usage was 134,000 gallons, which is pretty
All
close
right. Well,
to the 150 now in a similar dry summer season.
so if I take 150,000 gallons, that top one, and divide by 180 days, half a year,
Mhm.
6 months, that's 833 gallons per day, which is like that's the equivalent of 3 or 4 households. That's a lot of water.
Agreed.
And I guess, irrigation would be the only real reason. We have one bathroom, a small sink, no
Right, right.
shower, no dishwasher, no anything. We're not using water in any other way.
Yeah. It's almost a perfect um, illustration of irrigation
Yeah,
systems.
absolutely.
Nobody's living there. It's not open every day. I mean, it's
Right.
so I is there now
I'm sorry.
Chris, did you say that somebody has tested this system to see if it's leaking or not?
I went down myself, and we have gone down to see if there's put eyes on it to see if there was anything leaking, and there's nothing actively leaking there. I
Could it be underground?
suggested back when the first time we got this large reading for them to talk to the sprinkler company about turning it down, and I don't know if that ever happened or not.
Yeah.
I
So it would only
believe
be
we
coming
did
on
do
once.
that.
I said, I know you're establishing a lawn, but you're using a lot of water just to establish it now. So it's make sure you guys turn it down. And I don't know if anybody ever did. That's a question that Molly will have to answer. I'll get Bar answer for me.
Hmm. And I wish I could answer that. So
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I can't speak to that.
So Molly, we have a policy to give people, we call it the one strike policy. People that have leaks, that they're being conscientious about fixing, and documenting that for us. And then we will provide leak. Usually we will provide relief in the form of a adjusted bill. Um, I guess what I'm hearing is that we're not seeing the the justification for it yet. And maybe that we should wait for the results of the new meter. You seem to think it was a meter issue. Well, maybe we should wait and see for the new meter, see if it's any different. I think running a irrigation system other than in the early morning is folly. Maybe you could adjust the timing on it. Um, so it's not running beyond 8 a.m., something like that. I mean, I think there's, you know, we just as a body here, we're very concerned about the millions of dollars that we spend uh, pumping water out of the ground, treating it, storing it, distributing it for people to spill it out over their lawns. And that's why we've increased the rates, the water rates, for the high volume users, which typically, as you can see, tend to be related to irrigation systems for lawns. And so I'm not hearing a lot of positive um, reaction to adjusting this particular bill at this time. I mean, I think we could revisit it after the next billing season, or any other thoughts? I'm kind of running out. Scott?
Yeah, I want to ask Chris again, is there a way to go there and see if this determine a subsurface leak somehow, Chris?
They have the sprinkler system off for the season right now.
I'm sorry, say again?
They have the sprinkler system off for the season.
Right, but maybe it's
So,
still leaking.
no, they have a water turned off going
Oh, I
outside.
see, I see. Okay,
Yeah, so
gotcha,
there's
gotcha,
no way to
gotcha. At
check
the
until they
street.
turn it back on in the spring.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I guess I would like to offer that in that this is the Historic Commission, I feel like we should provide some deference there. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but I'm saying it. I feel that. And it strikes me that it's certainly not their fault. I'm wondering if it's the person who put in the irrigation system. That's my first guess. And I'm wondering how we could get to that because maybe they should pay the bill if there was a problem putting the irrigation system in. It strikes me that the Historic Commission didn't do anything wrong in operating the irrigation system. It strikes me there's a leak somehow. And if it's a new system, maybe the leak occurred during installation. I don't know.
Well, we're not even sure there's a leak, right?
Well, that's a lot of water.
It could just be running the sprinklers too much during the day.
Well, that's why I did that quick calculation. I mean, this is four times a home that's irrigating.
I mean, they said they were trying to establish a new lawn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very sympathetic to nonprofits. I work for one, and I'm a member of the Historical Society. So, but I just think that we need to be consistent in how we're approaching, um, overuse of water. If it's to establish a new lawn, then people should expect to pay more if that's what's important to them, is making sure the lawn is established. If it's established now, presumably it can be watered a lot less going forward. I guess that's the way I would feel about it. I haven't heard from Commissioner Turbuck. He's gonna play both sides down the middle.
No, I mean I'm highly concerned by how erratic the usage pattern is. As someone pointed out earlier, the reading from 2020 of 134,000 gallons is not that far off from the most recent. And yeah, I just wonder if there are some clues in that record that would show what was happening because the fluctuation, I mean, there was one summer, there was only 22,000 gallons, which is what I would expect from a non-household without appliances, laundry, dishwashers, etc. It seems, that the only culprit is the irrigation system, and I completely respect the board's policy that irrigation leaks are not smiled upon. Now, down the middle, I too am a member of the Historical Society. It's a nonprofit and it is dependent on donations to survive. This is a heavy bill. So my recommendation is that we hit the pause button on any penalties and we run this through the summer and see what type of usage we see. And if it continues to be extremely high with vigilance over this irrigation system, then we either stop the irrigation system or we dig deeper into the plumbing to see if there's a leak. It doesn't appear that there is a leak. Chris has been there and the basements aren't flooded and water's not gushing out of the side of the building.
Molly, do you have any more comments?
Just one other
Well,
question. Oh,
I,
sorry.
I guess my one comment, or yeah, I have a few. I mean, I appreciate your consideration, and we are in the community, and we want to keep up the property. We're stewards of the property. It's important that we look good. However, we are there a lot during the day. We have many functions and all types of programs. And I don't remember the sprinkling system going all the time. We just don't have a recollection of it. So I guess I just don't want you to think that we're being irresponsible with our water usage. And I know you don't, but it's more like, um, we just think there's something fishy. But anyway, we're going to get to the bottom of it too. We will do your one strike, and we'll work from there.
Well, we haven't given the one strike yet.
All right.
I think what we're suggesting is um, suspending this decision making until we have more information after the summer. Is that true, Scott?
Yeah, I'm going to second that, but I do have one other suggestion. I know on a project I was involved in with the Barnstable Clean Water Coalition, we installed a water meter at the cost of a couple $100 that could measure water usage daily. So I'm wondering, we only check it every 6 months, right? So it would be a shame to go through the whole summer and not knowing what's going on. So I'm wondering if it would be worth your investment, Molly, and Matt might have a comment here, to monitor it during the summer, along with Mr. Sherbuck's motion, which I'm going to second. But I'm also going to add to it, why not monitor your use throughout the summer instead of waiting until the end of it when we'll, find out maybe too late what's going on.
Let's ask Matt for an opinion here.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
So
Matt.
we do have a pretty good list of customers that have issues with the usage. So we do a monthly meter reading for them just to develop a trending usage. But with this new meter and new reader system, we can do a 90-day data log. So we can look back 90 days, whatever, from whenever it was installed. Say we look forward in April and then in May, we can look back to the day that meter was installed and get every day's usage down to the minute. So we could see the big fluctuation when irrigation's in use, and then from there on out. So we can absolutely put that on, a monthly or a data log.
So we could tell whether it was kicking on more than just early morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's currently on the meter now. I wouldn't need to do an additional installation of a daily log or daily meter, water meter.
I don't believe so. No, with that water meter, I mean it's any and all usage. But you can see on our system when that usage spikes, for gallons per minute or whatever the usage is down to the minute, but it can only go backwards for 90 days of usage. So
okay.
I don't want to.
So it'd be more instructive to do it during the growing season.
Absolutely.
And Matt, can you go in there periodically throughout the summer as opposed to just at the end of the 90 days?
Well, it can only read back from 90 days. So if we put it on a monthly reading and just read back 30 days, every 30 days, we can get a absolute sense of a trending use. And we can do that every month. We can do it for a year. And that's not just for our billing cycle. That's for any trending issues.
And Molly, do you think you could talk to your Mr. Barros and make sure that the automatic timer is adjusted so it's only a few hours in the morning, which is typically where
Yes.
irrigate?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and so we're not going to give relief now. We're going to reconsider it after we see that there's some progress has been made in tamping down this volume of 800 gallons a day, whatever it is. So not sure we've satisfied your concern tonight, but I think we've derived a process that might lead to a solution.
Well, and I appreciate it because I've learned a lot with this too. So I need to get on the ball here with this. Thank you.
And I think if you haven't found already, we stand by our staff as being the friendliest staff on Cape Cod. So,
well, that's great to hear.
okay, we all live in the same small village. So,
yeah.
Jen,
but we do want to try to be consistent in the way we address our policies.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next on another leak.
Wait a minute. I just wanted to find out, Jen, we did just put a data logger meter in there, didn't we? When we changed it out?
Yeah. I think
You
February
you
11th they
got
were
on
there.
mute. Jen, you're muted.
Sorry, guys. I first just have to apologize for the connectivity. We are still without internet from the storm, and the fire department lent me a Starlink to use, which has been great, but can't really keep up with the capacity of this, but we're trying. I do believe we did just put a 15 series reader on there, so we can go out and read it. I mean, we can go read it now and make sure that there's no leaks going on, um, actively, and then Molly, once you turn the irrigation system on, give me a call, and a week later we'll come out and do the data log and read it again and be able to see what water is going through the meter every hour of every day. So,
Okay, great,
yeah.
Jen. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. So next on the agenda is a request for relief from a family on 99 Pineview Drive. I'm going to try and share my screen without crashing us again. So stand by.
I didn't know Katuitt had access to a
Uh,
Starlink. That's really cool.
I didn't either. I've learned a lot after this storm. So let me just flip this back around. So in your packet was this request for relief. We did find significantly high usage at this property. They did discover that there was a leak with the outside sillcock. They had a plumber come and make the repair. And then using her, that was her current bill. And then here is the usage for this property. And you can see her previous high usage was 42,000 gallons. And in this period, there was 159,000 gallons used. So using our standard relief for request for relief or leak adjustment policy, stand by, let's turn this around again. I've done the recalculation of the bill with the previous high usage times 2 and providing relief on 75,000 gallons. Would be requesting relief in the amount of $1,702.25.
And the leak has been fixed. We saw the invoice from the plumber.
Sorry, can you hear me still? Okay.
You showed us the bill from the plumber to correct the leak.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so this is the evidence to show that they took action, um, presumably as soon as they got their bill. Um, and it's been repaired. The formula has been applied correctly. Is there a recommendation for a motion?
In motion, we go with the calculated relief by Jen.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to apply the relief formula in this instance on Pineview Drive. All those in favor say aye.
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 The chairman says aye. Votes unanimous. Thank you.
Yeah.
We into the superintendent's report?
We are into
Or
water quality.
Water quality first. Okay.
Yeah, water quality is pretty simple. We did not have any coliform hits in January. We did do some we're waiting results for PFAS and BOCs right now. We should have, I would hope, by next meeting, those results. Other than that, we're doing good.
Okay.
Superintendent report.
Superintendent's report.
I can jump right into my superintendent's report.
I did ask you to just give us a little update on the storm, any damage.
Yeah, I'll do that after
Okay.
after I read this because this is pretty fast. There's
Yep.
not a lot on it, so I'll give you a little bit of an update of what happened during the storm and how our backup system is and everything else. So in
Thank you.
January of 2025, we pumped 7 million, excuse me, 7,270,000 gallons of water. In January of 2026, we pumped 6,765,000 gallons of water, or a decrease of 505,000 gallons. Not sure why. Maybe because it was it's really not too much. Actually, it goes
Pretty
up and down.
insignificant change.
Sorry?
I say it's a pretty insignificant change. It looks pretty stable to me, January.
Yeah.
Yep.
Under association news, there is a joint meeting going up between Barnstable County, Mass Waterworks, and Plymouth County Waterworks up in Rentham next week. I will not be attending it because there was something else going on that day that I had to do. I will be attending in April the conference up in Worcester, the New England Waterworks Conference. And both New England, Mass Waterworks, and Mass Rural are all throwing out their spring schedules for classes and everything else. So there's a lot of class opportunity out there, which will help with the new guy and us keeping our certification going. We had no new services, no replacements, no leaks. As you know, we hired a new employee last month, and just saying he's doing great. He's a real go-getter. He seems to be fitting right in. Likes to keep busy. So pretty happy there still, just letting you know that. And I did kind of give you a last minute send out of our sole source contract with Tom Cambereri about Station 5. I sent that out for people to look at maybe an hour ago. Good catch, Mark. Other than that, that's what I have for my report. I will give you a quick update on our blizzard, I guess we'll say. We had a cluster of things go bad. We had basically the only generator that stayed running was the one here at the water department that kept power here. We had our backup generators fail at every station. One was because snow got sucked in on the side during that storm, and it got wet and shorted out a fuse and some circuit board that had to be replaced. It took a day to get that going. The other ones would run for a while, but then they would freeze up because it's too cold outside, and the propane rushing would to start the would freeze up and not it would choke out the generators. So we had quite a time running around trying to get things on hand, getting things to work for a while, putting them on hand. We didn't have our tanks weren't working, so we couldn't communicate how much water was in the tank itself. We had to go by I would say guessing basically on how long things were running, how much water we were putting in the tanks. So we went old school for quite a while there. But we did go through, we did put out a warning at one time asking people to conserve just because we didn't know how long it would be before we could get the generators running right. Once we got those running right, we're good. Right now, all the generators are running, but actually I shouldn't say that. They failed last night. They had a test run, or I don't know what happened, but they seem to have a low flow, temperature low alarm. They have a block heater that can't keep up with the cold weather right now. So I have to have a meeting with our generator people and say what can be done so that this doesn't happen again. Is there a heating program that we can put on the propane? Is there a larger heating block that we can put in? This new generator that we're getting, is it accustomed with the stuff that we need to keep things going? Because it came to the point where there was actually a meeting with the disaster team on with the fire chief. We had a meeting with the Boston Police, with the Boston DPW. They all stepped up to help out. DPW came in and removed the tree off the wires. That we had a tree go down onto the wires that blew out two of the circuits. They came in, took the tree out once they found out there was no power, cut it out, and actually took a bulldozer, the front end loader, and cleared the rest of the road out for us going down to two. So they helped us out quite a bit. It took us a little while to get Eversource in there, a lot of phone calls, but we had a liaison through Eversource and the fire chief that we kept calling, and she kept pushing through on it. And we ended up getting power back. Last Friday was Station 4, the last one that we had get power back to. The other ones all had power except for that. But we do have, once we got Station 5 online, which is natural gas, we were all set. We were out of any kind of danger, really. We could run it by hand for 10 hours, and we were putting in 1,000 gallons a minute just about basically, and it was fine because not a lot of people using water during power outages.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's
So
basically in a nutshell that I have to have a meeting with our generator people and see what can be done so this doesn't happen again.
So you have one vendor for all the generators?
Do I have one what?
One servicer for all the generators?
Yes, for the larger ones, yes. I do have a small 8 kW at one of the tanks that a local person takes care of because they put it in. And we did have a little bit of a problem there, but they came down. It was just not transferring over. Something was labeled backwards. He came down, flipped it over, changed it, and we had power within seconds.
So these generators are outside the buildings?
Yes.
That's why they're being affected by the weather.
Yes.
If you put them, what
The
happens if
one
you,
that we
can you put
had
them
that had
inside the buildings and vent them?
Yeah, these are 80 kW generators. They're the size of the building almost, half the
Okay.
building. If you look when you go by walking the dog next time, take a look
Yeah.
on the other opposite side of the sand pit. You can see
Okay.
the big generator that's there, and then the fuel tank that's there. We were having trouble with communications coming back and forth here too, because there was no power down there. We couldn't get communications back here to run our SCADA system either.
Mm.
And we had stuff blow out there also because we had a surge protector that actually burnt out on one side, so it wasn't allowing anything to talk back here. So we didn't know at one time that there was a generator running down there when it was saying it wasn't running here. We drove down there and we're like, hey, it's running.
Hmm.
Well, power was on at one time. It's at one of the stations. So once we got power at 1 and 3 and Station 3 down the center of town and Station 5, things kind of went back to normal. It just took us a while to get power to the other ones.
Wow. So to tell how much water is in the tanks, you can't just put a dipstick down from the top.
No, 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 not at all. It used to be, and the thing is, it's funny because the way we used to tell how much water was in the tank was how many pounds and that was on the pressure gauge. And you knew that 2.31 pounds per foot of water. So you could always figure out by looking at the pressure gauge how much water was in the tank. But the problem with that is that all the pressure gauges are digital. So, so when the power doesn't go there, you can't tell how much is in there.
Yeah. It's a wonderful world. Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chris, in past blizzards, have we had similar problems?
No, this is a unique situation with the snow sucking in. I think when we were having like the whiteouts and that generator, that's a 100 kW generator that runs Station 5, and it sucks in some air because that's how it cools the engine by sucking the air through it. And when they had that sheet of snow coming down, it was just sucking it in like nothing.
Sure.
Floating in the air like that and filling it. It got to the point where it was packing up top, and when it was melting, it was just dripping right down on top of the box that was supposed to be waterproof, but let water by. Either it was condensation or something.
And so the propane at the other stations was freezing or not handling the cold
Yeah,
weather?
because of the temperatures and because it was drawing so much out, I guess it's kind of a known problem in cold weather that they will end up freezing up and choking out, not giving you enough propane to get to run that the demand.
Is there any way we could put the other stations on natural gas like Station 5 is? Would that solve the problem?
That that is a possibility, but we'd have to run gas through the well field. And I hate to say it, we should have two options for backup because if there is an actual, let's say we got bombed tomorrow, the first thing they do is shut the natural gas off.
Right.
And if I have all my options on natural gas, then I have no way to run water at all if we lose power.
And last question, if you lose power, you lose all ability to pump. How many days do we have water supply until we run out?
And a full tank, I should be able to get about 7 days out of a tank.
Okay, so we can go a
Pretty
week
good.
without.
Yeah, and if it was summertime, I would go down and shut off tanks that we weren't using, just because to save fuel. But in the winter, I can't because of heat. I don't want anything to freeze up. You got to let them run. I did have propane scheduled to come down last week to fill them. They were going to come down on Friday. I actually called them back up on Friday and said, listen, I got everything running by electricity. I don't want you down in that hole getting stuck on any of the icy roads and not being able to get out with a full tank down there. So they're supposed to be coming this week.
Got it. Got it.
7 days sounds like a pretty good emergency supply to me. I don't
Yeah,
remember the last time we were out of power for 7 days.
Is that per tank or we have two tanks?
that 7 day. Well, oh, I thought he was talking about the propane tank. I'm not hearing too well. With what's up there, it's all on demand. We got 800,000 gallons in the air.
Yeah.
In the summertime, we're filling that sometimes once or twice a day, a 24-hour period. In the wintertime now, we go a whole day without running. It'll I would say go apparently now 2 days in a blizzard situation, just about.
For each tank, each of the two tanks, or just combined?
I'm sorry, could you repeat again? I'm having trouble.
You said it could run for 2 days without any refill. Is that per each of the two tanks?
That's because with the two tanks running with the 800,000 in the air, I would say in the wintertime, it would depend. We only use probably about 330,000 gallons a day right now, 350 the town. So we could go through that in a couple of days. In the wintertime, we go through 1 million gallons sometimes in a day. I mean, the summertime, excuse me. We go over 1 million. So that if we didn't have power, that could run out within, 12 hours, depending how much demand, how much usage is out there.
Hmm.
And
But
our backup
yeah,
would be our cross connections with Mashpee and Com, ideally.
when I'm sorry, my volume's having trouble here.
He's talking about the connections to Mashpee and Com if we ran out.
I actually, when I was talking about that disaster meeting I was in, Calm Water was in on it also. And I did talk to the assistant super over there, and he said they were kind of in the same situation where they could only get a couple generators going, and that they were good enough though that if we got to the point where we needed to open up a interconnection, he said just give him a call, he'll meet us down there. So they had offered already at that day to come down if we needed them.
So I guess the moral of the story is don't have a hurricane that puts the power out for more than a few days, because that'll be in the summer.
I don't, yeah, I don't think a hurricane's too bad. We can handle the warm weather. Don't have any more big breeze out storms like we had. Try
Because
to
you think
keep it
that
warm
the
when
generators
those
will be
run.
fine in the summer, you think?
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting news. Thank you. you needed to dip into any emergency budget monies to fix these generators.
Well, I'll tell you right now that we probably exceeded 10 grand in expenses from this
Hmm.
right out of the budget. Boom. And we're already talking tomorrow. Friday, there's a meeting with FEMA. The fire chief is trying to get some money recouped to the town.
Good. We're all done with this, guys. Dave, yeah.
Well, just one last thing. I just want to thank you, Chris, and Jen, and Matt, and JR, and Keegan for going above and beyond during the blizzard. Um, I'm sure the village appreciates it, but they're probably unaware of what you guys all went through.
Well, I know Chris doesn't sleep well anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Hey, I'll tell you that um, between Matt was out there quite a while alone for a little while doing stuff, but because nobody could get out of the house. So kudos to him too, and quite a bit. I mean, all from me also. Everybody did a great once we got going. Like I said, with the new guy, even everybody went out there and did whatever they had to keep things going. And that's one of the things I say all the time. You know, we got a good team, keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Give them
That's
what they
great.
want.
Hey, Chris, what's the new guy's name, by the way?
Jeff
Jeff. All
Marks.
right.
Yep.
I want to get used to that. Thanks.
Jeff is the new Keegan.
Otherwise, we'll call
Yeah.
him new guy.
Right. It's 5:45, so in the interest of time, I'm gonna move us along, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's great.
All
So
right.
this is the policy on overtime that we looked at last meeting, and we've had plenty of time to study it. I've gotten comfortable with it, and that's what I wanted to do because I just felt like it was being sprung on us last time. But so I'd be interested in any comments. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion to accept or modify.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt a policy for overtime compensation structure and on-call duties. And we've been supplied with a memo from staff analyzing and comparing it with other similar types of water suppliers like the ones we have. I think we appreciate the fact that Matt and JR have taken time to do that research and Jen putting it together. So moved and seconded. Any more comments? Okay, I'll call for a vote. In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did I hear a second aye?
Aye.
Scott? Okay. Chair says aye. Vote is unanimous in favor, and so we'll adopt that and make it part of the. Can we put it in the employees handbook too, Jen?
Yes, we'll do that, and we'll put it in the fiscal 27 budget.
In the budget, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, next.
Next is our pending business of the conservation restriction at the school and the enabling legislation. I'm guessing there's
Yeah.
no movement there.
So, I've reached out again to town council's office. I think what I'm going to do is ask our town councilor to investigate this a little bit because I don't seem to be getting any traction.
Um, Mr. Chairman, I have
Yes.
a meeting with the management staff at Town Hall on Wednesday on my CWMP. I could add this to my comments if you like.
That'd be terrific.
Yeah, so maybe just we can talk. Give me a little prompt on specific. I know generally what I'm asking for, but maybe shoot me an email or something or text.
All we're looking is for a status update,
Right.
which we haven't had for 2 years.
Yep, on the so I'll try to bring that up on Wednesday. I'll be meeting with the town manager and his
And you can
staff.
couch it in the fact that the Prudential Committee is moving ahead with issuing bids for contracts for demo
Mm.
and hope to have that done, during the spring and get in some new landscaping where the building and the parking was. So I think that's the context that you might say that this is the time now to finish that conservation restriction.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
Great. Thank you.
Anything on the enabling legislation?
I have a phone call and an email into the Senate Committee on Rules. No progress, no movement on the docket for H 2258. I will next contact Representative Diggs and Senator Sears' offices and ask them to give it a shove.
These are typically the home rule bills that get acted on the last couple days of the session. So sometime this spring, maybe they'll rush it through.
Well,
But you have to keep on them.
Hmm.
gotta remind them.
Yeah.
Last meeting, we did the quick Q&A on the pipe inventory, and I put
Yeah,
that together in a document.
that's
That's
great.
in your packet.
Yeah. So again, I think that these are, you know, questions that may come up in the public. I think it would be good to put it on our homepage for the water department if that's something you think is appropriate, John. Chris,
Yes, I'll add it to our FAQ section.
great.
Payroll W-2 issue.
They have been fixed.
So last night, I attended the second of two Prudential Committee meetings. The first one, I brought to their attention again, as others have, and apparently they have uh, been working diligently in this calendar year to get a new vendor to issue payroll and amended W-2s for our staff have been um, entered into the employees portal. Have you verified and confirmed that, Jen and Chris?
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
So
I do. I
hopefully
did.
this will be behind us. So they'll hire somebody new. I know they've been interviewing vendors, and
Nice.
um, I apologize. I don't know why it took years to get this resolved, but I think we can move forward at this point. Let us know if there continues to be any problems.
We'll definitely want to keep an eye on it this time next year, because since we're in 26, there'll be payroll issued under this existing vendor. So
Yeah, right.
it could rear its head next, beginning of
Yep.
next year, but then hopefully
Well,
no
we rely
longer.
on you to be on top of it. I know you will be.
Very well. Yeah.
Okay.
The sick time memo to Prucom.
Oh, Dave, would you like to bring this forward?
Uh, Sheriff Scott, you want to go first?
Didn't we vote on this?
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman?
Scott.
Yeah, I just got to ask about this. You said working diligently. Not sure that's acceptable. Isn't this like a phone call? Get a new vendor? What is the
Well,
working?
they're interviewing firms. I know that's what they said last night. So,
Okay, this
I
is
mean,
this is
I
this
have
is
to take them at
insane. This
their
is insane.
I have to take them at their word that
Okay,
they now understand. They were apologetic last night. Um, I don't know if, we have a new leadership there. Maybe this is, and we have new staffing in the treasurer's office. So I think that there's, some new people looking at it. And I feel confident that they were responding to us in good faith last night.
all right. I'm sorry. I'm just a little over the top on this one.
Yeah, I understand.
We appreciate that.
Okay, so
Uh,
we did vote on this. Um, and you've submitted it to the Prudential Committee. Have we had any response?
no, I have not heard any.
Do we need any response?
Well, we need them to decide what they're going to do at annual district meeting, if they are going to fund this unfunded sick time accrual, which would mean, I think our recommendation was that for the treasurer to establish a fund.
That was in the recommendations from
Yes.
the attorney. Um,
Given that we're in budget season, why don't we just bring this forward when we meet with the Prudential Committee on the budget and propose a warrant article to fund the accrued liability? And we'll have the discussion with them then.
that's a great idea. Um,
Which should be coming up.
so
I haven't seen an invite on that, but
I think it would be good to get a confirmation from the Prudential Committee that they've received this. To, I mean, I don't like the fact that they didn't respond and say thank you. Um, could maybe as chair, I could send that same email and ask for confirmation of receipt, Jen.
okay. I'll
If,
forward it to you in the morning.
yeah, and I'll just reiterate and say that we'd like them to understand that we'll be discussing with them at the budget time.
Great. Okay. Any update on the comprehensive wastewater?
No,
Okay.
no. I do want to, is this a good time to talk about Tom Cambereri's proposal contract?
Sure.
Yeah, so I would move that we accept this. This is something that we asked for. I reviewed it. I think it's on target. And this is to map the contributing area to our well number 5, which, as you may recall, we don't have on the maps. I think this would be a good step forward in our source water protection program. So I move that we approve the contract.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the submitted contract from Sole Source Consulting to identify or refine the Zone 2 to Well 5 so it's consistent with the data and maps that we have for the other well fields produced by the same consultant. All those in favor say aye.
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 Chair votes aye. It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. So then the last three things, and Mark, I'll let you decide which order you want to take them in. It's the approval of the January minutes, the fiscal year 27 budget discussions, and the superintendent's evaluation.
Jen, did you say January minutes? Did they have to
The-
do December too? Didn't they table December's minutes?
I
We didn't
think
meet
December's was
in
improved.
December, right?
Right, we didn't meet in December, but I think at the January meeting, we approved the November minutes. I just need to have them signed so I can post them, that's all.
Okay, well, I mean, I can come in and sign it, Jen.
Yeah, anytime. But the January ones we do need to approve.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the January meeting minutes of the Board of Water Commissioners?
I move.
Is there a second? I'll second. All in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Passes 2-0. I guess we've got about a half hour. I think we should do the evaluation first.
Okay.
So this is the form that we use each year to identify um, matters of interest and concern and applaud for the superintendent. The superintendent evaluates the staff under his purview, and the commissioners evaluate the superintendent. So I guess we'll just go down quickly. We've done this before, three of us, several times, I think. And Chris is now in your 38th year, Chris. Do you have
Yes.
a hand up, Chris, for something else?
Let's see. This is going to be, yeah, my 39th year, actually, I think.
Okay.
38. No, 38. You're right. I don't know. I keep losing it.
All right.
One or the other.
You've got your hand up. Is that for something else, or we?
Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
I
We're
hit the
starting the
wrong button.
evaluation, and
Yep.
so we'll just go through these items and discuss them if they're appropriate. So, deficiencies in water supply or quality. Have we do a monthly report on those? Are the commissioners satisfied with the responses from the superintendent in that regard?
Yes, I believe that he exceeds.
I think it's I think we do a good job on that, and Chris is very diligent about giving us the results. Occasionally he misses a test here and there, but usually it's because he's busy doing something else. He knows how important the testing is, and I think he's been very responsive to it. And I think we probably have burdened him with more testing than in the past. Um, any comments on that, Scott?
No, I agree. Chris continues to do a fantastic job, and I'm looking through his responses here, and I think they're all on target.
Okay. So no significant contaminations that didn't go addressed, equipment failures due to lack of maintenance. Um, we discussed mice nest, and that's still being worked on, Chris. That's the big one that's being fixed.
Excuse me, the what?
The mice nest in the
Oh
generator.
yeah, that's part of this year. Yeah, we have out there now rat control or mice control at every
All right,
generator on the
great,
ground, and it cleans them up because you can see them all over the place.
good. Security systems are working adequately except during blizzards.
A little too good sometimes.
Okay,
Calling when they harassing the poor guys sometimes.
all right. Um, Budget submissions are timely. Well, uh, I think we've always heard from Chris when he needs money for something that is special consideration. So these are the items under infrastructure management and security. Um, I would be willing to give a exceeds a 3. Scott,
I'll support that. Same, 3.
Dave.
I agree. A three, he
Okay, so
exceeds.
we're in unanimous um, opinion for number 3. Score on infrastructure management. Compliance, we have state and federal regulations are met or exceeded. Um, we don't have any issues with those regulatory agencies that I know of. Um, what about where do we stand with the water withdrawal permits? It has been issued. They reduced
Yes,
it a little bit, Chris, is that correct?
yeah, we have had those issued. We did do the lead and copper this year that had to be done. We are in the middle of doing our cybersecurity that they've asked everybody to do. So yeah,
Okay. And how are we doing with staff credentials?
good. Everybody, this was a new a year for everybody to get new update their license, and everybody did reach their points that they needed.
And your rookie is starting his.
Yeah, he's got a class coming up. I believe that it's in May, actually, because he can do an online class then. But we're waiting for him to get his membership back from the association so that he can get his discount. So once he gets his card, we'll book the class.
Okay. I lost my list here, John.
Oh,
All right, so we've discussed that. Scott, would you suggest a score?
I would suggest a score of 2. I think he's met all the criteria. I think that would be my recommendation.
Okay, Commissioner Turbuck.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think 2 is appropriate here. It's hard to exceed regulations. So don't feel like you're being downgraded on that. So we'll say a 2 for compliance. Personnel management, training of staff, performance reviews, any discipline, um, and issues are addressed with staff. So I'd like to comment on the dismissal of a former employee. Um, I know that's tough. I think it was handled professionally in front of us. Um, it sounds like there were steps taken before it came to our level. Um, and I really applaud the way that that was handled. It's not easy to let people go. I've had to do it. Um, and you feel for people because they're losing their livelihood, but sometimes it's appropriate. So, um, and I think we documented that appropriately. When I say we, I mean the staff. I'm assuming you've done all your performance reviews for staff, Chris?
Yes, everybody, I have, did not have to, I do have everything done, I mean, with, the employee that I had to let go, keep everything documented, yes.
Yeah, we don't want any lawsuits for improper dismissal. Uh, and training, do we feel like staff is encouraged
I,
to take additional training beyond what's the minimum necessary?
yes, and I do rely a lot on the two guys that are the senior operators to do a lot of the training with the new employee. Um, I trust them to do it. Um, I have no fear that they'll do a bad job of it.
Okay. Um, I feel like this is a real strong suit of Chris's and being the leader of a small team that's very important to this community. I think we're very lucky to have had him for so long. And I had the same dentist, doctor, and optometrist for 40 years. They have all retired on me, and I can't stand it. So let that be a lesson to you, Chris. I'm going to give a 3 for this, Dave,
I agree. A 3 is deserved.
Scott.
Agree.
Okay, so we'll put a 3. It's consensus there. And then communication. This has been one of the places where we've encouraged Chris to step up a little bit. I think he's responded to that. Um, Outside agencies, uh, we know that interactions with the public are certainly done in the best way possible. I think that starts at the top and trickles down through the staff. And as I said, it's a small community. We have to believe that customer service is important. People are, you know, not just paying their bills, but they're seeing people in the street. And I like getting waved at by the staff as they go by in the truck. That's nice. Um, I don't think they necessarily know who I am. They're just waving because they're friendly. So um, I would be interested to hear some scores from others.
Yeah. Mr.
Scott.
Chairman? Yeah, I just want to highlight two thoughts. When I was chair, I was super impressed with Chris's accessibility and responsiveness when I called him with a question or information. It was just always there. And then I think the last one here, they're not bulleted, but the one that talks about interactions with ratepayers and the public, I kind of think might be one of the most important things on this entire list. And I know for a fact that goes way beyond with his demeanor in talking with people. He's kind, listens, thoughtful, and gets them the answers. And to me, that might be the most important thing. So I'm going to nominate a 3 or a 4 here.
Okay. Well, uh, I certainly agree. Dave?
Well, what Scott said, I think that, that last point about interactions with the people of the village is perhaps the most important. And, I've heard, firsthand compliments about Chris's, uh, manner and his demeanor and his professionalism. So, yeah, if we could give a 4, I would support that.
Okay. Well, um, apparently we don't give 4s, but I think we are all in agreement that the 3+ is appropriate here. And so that's the numerical stuff. Strengthen areas for improvement. Um, I would say just one thing is uh, it might be useful, Chris, to review the meeting minutes as soon as they're prepared, not the day of the meeting, so that if we've asked for Camberry's contract to come to us, it should come sooner than the day of the meeting. So it just or to review with Jen like a punch list that comes out of our meetings, so that you can work on them sooner rather than later before the next month's meeting. That would
And
be
I
good.
apologize for that. That was my bad.
I
I
know
was, like I
we all make
said,
mistakes. I
yeah,
agree. I do it all the time. Uh, and I just they're looking for we're looking for something. So there you
gotcha.
go.
Or, yep.
Other comments?
No, I don't have any comments on that on that area,
Or
really.
just in general improvement?
In general, you know, I guess I'm a little alarmed at what happened with the blizzard, and I'd like, some straight talk about where are we vulnerable and what should we be planning for, um, so that we're proactive and we can get ahead of this stuff. I don't think people in the village know, how close, or how bad things were. It wasn't dire, and Chris was, quick to get a warning out, a request out to people to limit their water usage. But I think going forward, we really need to look at, where the threats are to the system and what are the weak links. What do we need to be looking at hard down the road?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, this is the same as talking about the pipe system. Just kind of pre-planning to where do we go next? How do we think about this holistically? Those are big issues.
Yeah.
But we're at a time when we have two good, relatively new tanks. We don't have to, spend a lot of years planning for those, and at least in the near future. Um, Pipelines are always going to be something that to me is a vulnerability. I think emergency response, communication failures, these are things that, we have plans for it. Um, I'm not sure that I've reviewed those plans. Are they available, Jen, to be sent out, the emergency plans, or are they just three-ring binders in the office?
We
Yes,
we
yes,
have
what? You're muted. Chris, where are they? How do we read those plans? We have to go in and sit?
we do have emergency response plan here that's probably about 6 inches thick
Right.
in
I
a
remember
binder.
seeing them in Jen's office, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
Um,
Chairman, I remember you being a little bit of an expert on this subject.
Response plans, yes. I came up doing response plans. Um, yeah, they're supposed to sit on the shelf and not be used, but it might be good to just skim them sometimes so that we're all familiar. I guess one thing I would say is that when you are an emergency like that, one more damn thing is probably low on your list, but short paragraph email to the commissioners saying, we're under siege here. I'm doing the best I can. We're getting help from the town, DPW. Um, I went by the road down to well 3 for a couple days, and I saw no indication of that being plowed yet. I was concerned. I sent an email or a text, I guess, to find out what was going on there. I think, you know, we can't help you with your generators, but if we knew what was going on and people stopped us and asked us what's going on, is there a problem with the water? It would be nice to know. And I
yeah,
just,
I apologize about that. We did put a little something out on social media during the time, but you're right. I probably should have made a phone call either to you or something like that, and you could have conveyed it. Um,
well, again, we're not part of your emergency response team, but we are part of your PR team.
correct. Correct.
Okay.
And
So,
and in a pinch, Mark, you and I could vote to send Dave out to help shovel out one of the well sites, right?
yeah, he's probably got a better back than we do.
Any excuse to use the new snow blower.
He did offer his truck.
Right.
And one thing I didn't mention either that was going on is that Jen's husband actually stopped by with a plow truck and said, "If you guys need any help, if I can do anything, let me know with Bonstable's water." So um, people look out for people out there and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah.
We're a team.
Yeah, the only sidewalk that was plowed in Katuitt was the Turbuck sidewalk before the town came through. It
Right.
was a very short walk. Didn't help with the dogs.
It was a refuge from the plows.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be leaving shortly, but anything else on the agenda there?
So just some quick budget conversation. I'm
Oh,
sharing my screen. Chris and I took a look at the operating budget proposal today. As you can see, there's a lot of things in bold so that there's numbers going up and down throughout this budget. Mark, as you mentioned, we are going to have to go before Prudential Committee to present this, and I'm thinking that's at their March meeting, but I will double check that with Mark Lynch. The missing piece is the recommendation for staff salaries.
yeah. So, what we did last year, we like to use the cost of living adjustments.
Which is
And what do
2.8.
we peg those to Social Security, or what do you peg it to? What do we like to, what's our typical policy there?
I think Prudential asked us to peg it to the Social Security Administration. And in 2026, that was a 2.8% cost of living adjustment.
Yeah. And we did some significant raises last year, as I recall. We've adopted a new overtime policy that will add to the compensation. Any suggestions?
Mr. Chairman, I'm wondering if we should, if we don't need to make a decision on this tonight, this is a pretty big item here.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to suggest we take this under advisement and each individually review this and be prepared for a more detailed discussion at the next meeting.
Okay.
And I have one other item I'd like to bring up. It won't take more than 3 minutes, I don't think, but
Excuse me, Scott, do we have
The last piece,
do we have to wait a minute, do we have to meet with the Prudential Committee this month about the budget?
I believe it is at their month-end meeting. So if we meet on the third Wednesday for our March meeting, we should be ahead of the Prudential Committee schedule.
so I'm sorry, what does
Wait a
that
minute,
mean
the
about?
third Wednesday in March, we're here, aren't we?
So the third Wednesday in March would be the 18th, and then Prudential's typical meeting would be the 23rd.
Okay,
So
all
if
right, so we do have
you,
one more meeting, okay.
yeah, this is really our February meeting.
Right, okay. All right, well, I would say there's a consensus to put off the salary levels until next time.
And I think at that same time, we can review this 5-year cap budget. Chris and I, in our discussions today, moved the water main replacement for Truman and Roosevelt, kicked them out 1 year because we had some significant asks in this period between cybersecurity and generator replacement. And I'm not sure, and well cleaning, and I'm not sure any of these numbers are 100% solid right now. In that same discussion, and knowing that the enabling legislation hasn't moved forward at all, we kicked any source water protection out to fiscal 28, but again, that's up for discussion.
Yeah. 29 looks like. Oh, I see, 28.
Fiscal 28, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Mr. Horsley.
Scott, did you have another item?
Yeah, have we covered everything on the agenda?
Looks like it.
Okay, I just wanted to thank both Matt and JR for being here and see if they would like to just say hello and say something to us because we really appreciate you guys being here and your work. And if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. I'm sure we all would. So, Matt, what's on your mind?
There we go. I would like to say hello to everybody, and on behalf of, I won't speak for JR, but I know he'll say the same thing on behalf of myself and Jeff Marks, the other water operator, eventually in training. We'd like to thank you guys for approving that overtime structure.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
JR, you want to add anything there?
I appreciate it, and I just enjoy working for the water department. So
You guys think Chris is a pretty good guy?
yeah, Chris is a great boss. I appreciate that he trusts us with what we do, and I'm glad we're able to provide a great service for Katuitt. So
Thank you guys. I didn't mean to
We'll
put
be
you on the
doing it for a
spot.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for a
Thank,
long
thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate the extra work during the storm. I'm sure it was a test for everybody.
It was a doozy.
Yeah.
it was good. Keeps you on your toes, and next time hopefully we'll have a better result. So
They did great.
learn from our mistakes this time, and just go forward with it.
Yeah,
And us,
I wasn't here for the blizzard of 78, but people tell me that this one was worse.
I don't think
In
Matt
terms
and
of damage, trees down and all that kind of stuff.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think Matt or JR is going to be able to comment too well on that.
No.
Born in '90, we missed that one by a couple of years.
Yeah, still a star in the sky.
I feel old.
But
Okay.
thank you guys very much. I appreciate the kind words, and like JR said, we're very honored, and we care deeply about this town. So we'll be here for a long time, and if all goes well, that'll nothing will change. So
Okay, thank you very much. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Can
So
I
moved.
add two things
Oh.
before that quickly? Because I know you have to go. In conversations with Chief yesterday, they were talking about the new fire station, and that will have Starlink capabilities as well as our regular Open Cape internet. Chief also mentioned that if I had internet, we could bring the phone here and plug it in, and it would ring just like it does to the water department. So, and he showed me different switches that would be able to link like Chris's phone and the guy's phone all together. So their goal for the fire station is to be able to survive off the grid should another storm like this happen. And Chief is taking some great measures to move us in that direction. So I
Good.
just wanted to thank them for all of that education. And then just wanted to confirm that March 18th worked for everybody for the next meeting.
Works for me.
5:45 p.m. Zoom,
What's the date? Sorry.
March 18th.
Our next meeting?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an important one for the budget, and we'd probably want to focus on that.
Perfect. All right, now you can move to adjourn.
I'd
Scott
like
made
to
a
add one
motion.
more quick thing too. If you guys get, you're going to be considering employees. I have not physically given my employees their review, but I will tell you right now, they all have exceeded expectations. Not that they don't let anything go, but they will be getting good, exceeding expectation reviews. Just to keep under consideration.
Good to know. Okay, Scott moved to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. We'll adjourn the meeting at 6:23 and see you on the 18th at 5:45.
Thank you all.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Be safe and be good.
You
Good night.
too.